champion.
So yeah,
And Jesus answered them saying, the hour is come.
What it do?
I feel good. We are live now, but I don't
see. Say who you is, say what you do. Say what's your gift, I show the truth. Just keep to the man, and when you show them your gift, what it do, just let them know you need your check in advance. Hit the jet, they know my name. Someone unique, yeah, they be digging me, but there's precious stones in my underground. Press through the pressure, now it's diamond cut to my crown. Look through the mirror and clear what I saw, search for him, and now I can reflect what I found. Woo. Pick up the ball, you make up the clean up their flaws. Let the beat press record, watch them pause. Keep them in all. You ain't gotta flex when you strong. If that we can turn them off when you on. Straight wake them out and now it's new cone. Then they give a new dog a new bone. When they down, they get themselves a new bird that you own. Screaming, what you home? Say what it is, come take a seat. Say who you is, say what you do. Say what's your gift, I show the truth. Just keep it real. When I speak to you, tell me what it do. And when I come through, tell me what it do. You got something I can, you tell me what it do. Let your gift be the proof, tell me what it do. But then you do your dance and you catch the scene with a flash. You can count it up, just do the math. And when you show them your gift and what it do, just let them know you need your check in advance. I am original, that's why they copy. Can't carry my old juggernaut, ain't no stopping the master my craft. You gon' need a lobotomy, so out of space gave a map to the stars. That's why they follow me, hold up the level. I'm pressing the pedal with no need for gas and the flow is electric. Big Frankenstein, how I put it together. You ain't never seen this type of beat. Whole new breed with a whole new preach. You can blame it on God, he let me off the leash. So heavy make you hit the flow when I speak. Ain't no misdirection, I walk how I teach. He showed me how to teach so they don't understand wrong. Long as he is still rock that they understand on. Still couldn't be me if I met you, my clone. Better leave it alone if you ain't gonna feel it. If it ain't a big move, then they ain't gonna feel it. You ain't going hard enough if they ain't trying to
what it do? What it do? What it do, people? Come on in. Do me a favor. It is Monday night. It's 10 p.m. So you know what that means. It is time for spiritual therapy. I am so excited to spend some quality time with y'all. I want to welcome y'all to episode number 3. We are only 3 episodes in our podcast, and it has been amazing already. And we want you to come on in, get situated. We got a lot to get to. I really feel like I want to dive into the D9 this afternoon. You know, I put a post up about sororities, about fraternities, probably 2 weeks ago, right? And literally, it just went over 400,000 views. People are still talking about it. People are still commenting. They still cussing me out. And so I thought I would take an opportunity to talk a little bit about the D9, about secret societies, about fraternities and sororities, and why I believe that Christians should not be involved in them. And we're going to talk a little bit, navigate the minutia, navigate some outliers, and navigate some exceptions to the rule. But by and large, I don't think Christians should be a part of fraternities and sororities. And we're going to go head on. We're going to go straight. We're going to be direct. We're going to go into their books. We're going to go into their manuals. We're going to look at all the different kind of stuff. And it's going to be real, real dope. So do me a favor. Go ahead. Let somebody know that spiritual therapy is on. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to talk through some hot topics, some things that are going on in the world, and then we're going to get into our presentation. So do me a favor, go ahead and like the video. If you are joining us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're joining us on Facebook, go ahead and make sure that you're following the page. Make sure that every Monday night at 10 p.m., turn your notifications on, turn your alarms on, because I want you to be a part of this community. All right. Do me a favor. Go ahead and tag somebody in it. If you know somebody that likes spiritual development, spiritual discipleship, they like training, they like coaching, they're looking for information, for insight, for revelation, for wisdom, go ahead and tag them in it as well. I want them to be a part of the conversation too. How is everybody doing today? How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? Talking to y'all. And y'all, I don't know if we told y'all, we got a couple of new sounds. We started using these sounds last week. I'm gonna move these when I'm done with them. Are you good? We got
Pause.
y'all heard that? We got the pause. We got pause. And we got
Whoa. Pause. Major pause.
got a major pause. So we got some new sounds. Every week we're gonna be adding some new sounds. There's other stuff that we got to add, but we're gonna have a good time tonight. I'm really, really excited about tonight. And so let's go ahead and get into it. It's good to see everybody. Let me just say what's up to y'all. It's good to see Shaquana. It's good to see Lavish. It's good to see Lance. It's good to see Pamela. It's good to see Shaquana and Tequila and Ariel. It's good to see Fabian. It's good to see Andre and Chandrika. It's good to see Braylon and Brandon. It's good to see Teresa. It's good to see all of y'all. Come on in. Man, so there's so much going on. There's so much happening. We're going to get to hot topics. Did you add me into the note? But before we get into all of that, I was just talking to our mentorship group, shameless plug. Our Patreon is now up, is active, it's available. We got 3 different Patreon groups. I think 4 really. We got our lab techs, which is basic backstage access. We're doing new series. We're doing different types of podcasts. And that's just if you want some backstage access, you want to get the behind the scenes. We got lab techs, all right? And then after lab techs, we got the beta project. If you're called to be an apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher, you're looking for coaching, looking for mentorship, looking for a community, you can literally join my Patreon, and we have an exclusive community just for those that are apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers. That's called the beta project. I would love for you to be a part of that. And then I have the core. Now, the core is just my premier mentorship group. If you want all things calling, purpose, life, finances, mental and emotional health, physical health, just everything dealing with mentorship, coaching, development, I want you to join my mentorship community called The Core. All right. You can go to patreon.com/itsapostleb and you can go ahead and join The Core. Or you may say, hey, I want a part of the core. I want a piece of the beta project. I really want the best of both worlds. I have an option called the hybrid. You can join the hybrid. It's a monthly subscription. Go ahead and join it, and you get behind the scenes access. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because before we went live, we were talking about some stuff that we're going to have behind the scenes. So I'm not going to get into all of it right now. But one of the things that I was talking about is this past Sunday, Bishop Jakes preached a message called Snatched. It was his primary message for his Sunday morning services. And even saying that, I think it'd be good to even talk about this on the Preach of the Artist. Yeah, when I'm probably going to talk about it. But one of the things that we were talking about is just number one, his boldness, his bravery of he dealt with a very complex subject on a Sunday morning, and just really reveling in the fact that he did it, and then in the wisdom that he exercised in dealing with a subject like that. But he preached a message called Snatched. If you didn't listen to it, I would recommend everybody go listen to that message Bishop Jakes preached. It was June the 30th. All right, June the 30th, 2023, if you need to get a time stamp for that. But it was immaculate. Just watching him navigate the moment, navigating the anointing, navigating the atmosphere, his notes, information, revelation. It was just awesome watching him do what God has called him to do. And I was having this conversation where we were talking about, watching somebody that's great at what they do, watching somebody that's a master at what they do you're gonna have 2 reactions, right? The observer is going to have 2 reactions based on the health of their heart, based on the health of their mind. Whenever you see somebody doing what you are called to do, whenever you see somebody that's a master at their craft, whenever you see somebody who's amazing at what they do, whenever you see somebody that's doing what you do, you're going to always slip into that compartment of comparison. But whenever you see somebody that's a master at their craft, it's either going to garner 1 or 2 reactions. All right. Whenever you see somebody that's a master at their craft, it's going to produce 1 or 2 reactions in you based on the health of your heart. If your heart is not healthy, it's going to create jealousy. All right. Now, hear me. Jealousy is perverted admiration. Jealousy is admiration processed through bitterness, hurt, and offense. Are you following me? Jealousy is like a backhanded compliment. You ever heard somebody say something like, "Oh, you got everything," or "You got," you know what I mean? It's like they're really for real, but they're hiding the truth in a joke. That's how jealousy is. People hide the truth that they really think you're amazing. They really think you're awesome. They really think you're great, but they hide that within jealousy. When your heart is not healthy, you respond to inspiration. You respond to great skill and talent by jealousy. Now, when a person is healthy, when their heart is healthy, see, I want you to understand, whenever a person uses their gift or their gifting, their anointing, their authenticity or their personality, whenever they use that, it's a, how do I say it? There's a, I don't want to say residue, but, okay. You know, when you shoot a gun, it's gunpowder. You may not see it, but there's gunpowder residue whenever you shoot a gun. And they can measure, they can take you and do some ballistics and measure like how, what I'm saying is whenever you use your gift, there's residue. And whether the residue is authenticity, whether the residue is anointing, or whether the residue is inspiration, whenever a person uses their gift, there's this environment of residue. Now, I'm saying that to say that whenever a person uses a gift, it's supposed to touch everybody, right? Whether it's inspiring some, convicting some, challenging some, it's supposed to hit everybody. When it hits people with an unhealthy heart, it causes them to be jealous. When it hits people with a healthy heart, it causes them to be inspired. It gives them a level of strength, a level of creativity, a level of inspiration that is uncommon, that is almost supernatural when you're in the presence of a gifted person and you have the right heart. Are you following me? And this is why I need y'all to hear me. This is why it's not your job to determine how people respond to your gifting. I'm going to say that again. It is not your job to manage how people respond to your confidence. Because a lot of times, if people are bitter, if people are offended, if people are hurt, they will misinterpret your confidence as arrogance. And if you're a people pleaser, you will adjust your confidence to accommodate them. Never adjust your confidence to accommodate another person's insecurity, mediocrity, or jealousy. Be who God has called you to be, and that will allow people's true heart, motive, intent, and agenda to be exposed and to be revealed. See, sometimes you need people, hear me. Winning is a weapon. Y'all, I feel like preaching. Did y'all hear what I said? I said winning is a weapon, because sometimes you don't know the snakes that are in your circle until you start winning. Are you following me? Until you start winning, until you start having back-to-back wins and championships, you don't necessarily know how many people that are on your side until Judas has the money and a woman walks in, breaks open an alabaster box, pours the oil on his feet, and now you got somebody in the corner saying, man, we could have did something better with that money. Jesus says she chose the best part. What you mean better? You won't have the bridegroom with you all the time. What you mean better? I am the prize. You follow what I'm saying? So, now they ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but just watching Bishop Jakes inspired me. It was a moment. It was crazy. It was amazing. And if you have not, multiple cameras, you see it. If you have not watched it, go watch it, because it was amazing. We're going back to camera one. How y'all doing today? It is good to see y'all. I bless y'all. I bless y'all. But when we cut this in post, are we gonna be able to take both? Exactly. We're recording. Are we recording? No, we live. So it ain't even recording in the camera. So how are we recording? Yeah, we're not. I mean, we got to be able to put. We got to put a podcast. Well, I now get this. You know, I can always extract this, but it's only like 1080. Yeah, it's 1080. It's bad. So we got to find some way to record this. Yeah. You said better switcher, so you can record to the switcher. That's not ISO. That's a Pro though. Mini Pro ISO. You need ISO. So let's go ahead. I got a couple of books that I want to share with you all. After we share some books, we're going to go into hot topics. We're going to talk a little bit about frats and fraternities. And then I'm going to let you guys go. All right. There's a PDF. Who did I send this PDF to? It's good to see y'all. Pray you guys are doing good. Real quick, if you have not registered for our creative conference, October 5th through the 7th, 2023, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, we're having something that we call Create. It is our premier creative conference. We've been having it probably for the last 5, 6, 7 years. And it's a conference where we gather the creatives from singers, actors, dancers, poets, rappers, painters, anything that you can imagine. If you're gifted, you need to be at this conference. Number one, it gives us an opportunity to dedicate our gifts to God. Number two, it gives us an opportunity to get poured into, to get some rest, some relaxation, to get poured into and get some restoration to do what God has called us to do. Number three, it's a phenomenal networking opportunity. If you're looking for graphic designers, videographers, photographers, you're looking for website creators, whatever the case may be, podcasters, everybody's at this conference. You can find somebody that can help you do what God has called you to do. And community, there to give you accountability, give you community, some friendships, associations, covenants. It is going to be epic. And I want you to be here in Atlanta, October 5th through the 7th, 2023. Don't forget, if you haven't registered for my Patreon, it's a great opportunity for you to do that. You need to do that. And I think you're going to be blessed by it. All right. Now, so we got a lot for you. Tonight's going to be crazy. If you've ever wanted to be a part of a fraternity or a sorority, tonight is for you. If you are currently a part of a fraternity or a sorority, tonight is for you. All right. I posted a video a couple of weeks ago. It just reached over 400,000 views, and it was talking about fraternities and sororities, and we're going to settle the conversation tonight. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you in their books. I'm going to take you in the books, in their manuals. All right. I'm going to take you in the manuals, and I'm going to show you who they pledge to. I'm going to show you what they say out of their mouth when they pledge. And you get to decide if that's something you should be a part of or if that's something we should be a part of. All right. So we're going to have that conversation. I know I posted it on my stories. I'm just trying to figure out, where did I put that? Patreon. Yep. There it is. Whatever. All right. So first off, book reviews. I got some books for you that you need to get. I think that these books are going to be amazing, and I really want you to get them. So the first book is Evidence for Jesus. We're going to go to right there. Evidence for Jesus. Something's wrong with you, man. All right. Evidence for Jesus. I think this is a book that you need. We're going to utilize this autofocus right quick. All right. Now we got also Expository Apologetics. Vadi Brockman. Everybody that knows apologetics knows Vadi Brockman. Just phenomenal guy. All right. You want to get this book. The Bible Handbook of Difficult Verses. All right. This is an amazing book. Love this book. I was using it digitally, but I said I want the hard copy, and that is a phenomenal book. The Comprehensive Guide to Apologetics. All right. Apologetics is a part of your development. As a matter of fact, in the core and in the beta project, we're going to be dealing with this a little bit. So this is something that we're definitely going to dive into. I like the communities as opposed to courses. You follow what I'm saying? Because the course, the community, we could do stuff other than the courses, but in the community, we could still do courses. We'll do a whole course on apologetics, more so on defending the faith and how to biblically debate. It's going to be good. And the last one, the Baker Expository Dictionary of Biblical Words. Do you see that? All right. And this is a thick mama.
Pause.
All right. This is a thick mama. All right. We know everybody don't know nothing about that.
Pause.
All right. So those are some book suggestions. I would really recommend some of those books. One of those books, they'll all be really, really great for you. They'll all be wonderful for you. But how you doing? All right. Before we go on, just go ahead and put in the chat. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me see that. You already know what I was going to. I'm not about to eat these cookies, but I do want to show you these cookies. All right. I'm not going to like open it, but so I had me whatever, man. I had me some crumble cookies. Y'all remember we reviewed some of these cookies the other day. We're not going to do it today, but I did get some more crumble cookies and they're amazing. All right. If I did try one, I'm not going to try one, but if I did try one, that's in my chocolate. Now, you know, I haven't tried that caramel thing, so they say it's really good. All right. But that's a shameless plug. Crumble Cookie need to be a sponsor. All right. We need to get some sponsors. So it's going to be really, really good. Pause. They said the pause button is wild. Them cookies thick.
Pause.
Shoot. We can't go in like we want to go in. You got to be a part of our lab techs. You got to be a part of our Patreon community if you want to see us really go in. All right. And so let me just say this. Before we go into hot topics, we're going into hot topics. Let me see if I can pull up we're going into hot topics. There it is. All right. And y'all pray for me. I'm getting me a massage tomorrow. I'm going to get me a deep tissue, a shiatsu massage. I want an Asian lady standing on my back. You understand what I'm saying? I want her walking on my back. Because Patrice was about to leave. I told her, I said, hey, man, my back hurt. I said, can you stand on my back? And she was like, I'll do it when I get home. She never did it. And anytime my wife don't do what she's supposed to do, I always tell her, there's a little Asian lady somewhere.
Pause.
There's a little Asian lady somewhere, and she would love to rub on my back. This is not after dark, y'all. Y'all gotta control me. We'll put a break on that. Break that. All right. So I'm going to get a massage tomorrow because I don't know what's been going on. It's been I don't know if I'm sleeping wrong. Something's going on. I was talking about something though. Before that, I was saying before we go to hot topics. Cookies. Did a book review. I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and get into our hot topics. Sponsors. Maybe it was sponsors. It could have been sponsors. Could have been the Beta Project, huh? Yeah, I don't know. But it's our podcast. You know, it's all right. So we're about to get into fraternities and sororities. All right, we got our hot topics. I just want you guys to be ready. I'm not pulling punches. Now we'll get into, I'll take you behind the scenes. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes in this podcast. But if you want to see us maybe even talk to some people, maybe do some interviews, maybe some stuff like that, you're gonna have to kind of subscribe to our Patreon. That's gonna be on the Patreon. But it was about the Patreon. Mentorship groups, mentorship communities are up and available. Oh man, our Hide experience is gonna be coming. You don't know nothing about that, Andre. We're doing something called Hide. All right, high intensity discipleship experience it is exclusive to my mentorship group. You got to be a part of the mentorship group. I may open it up. Talking about what? I see you, mama. I see you, mama. I ain't gonna dishonor my mom. All right, but see, it's be stuff like that. The discipleship experience is going to be exclusive to those that are in our mentorship community. We may open it up for a premium price for everybody else. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is gonna be an experience unlike anything you have ever encountered before. All right. It is going to be live mentorship coaching in a whole day. We're going to spend a whole day together, and I'm going to get you right from your gift, your calling, your purpose, your assignment, your image, branding, marketing, your business, your money. It's going to be dope. It's going to be awesome. That's what I was going to say. I bless you, Lord. All right. So I can't deal with everything here, but guess what? I'm starting a brand new series in my mentorship community in the lab text. All right. And guess what? It's called The Spirituality of Sex. We may do an introduction tonight. And so it may be posted this week, but we're starting a brand new teaching called The Spirituality of Sex. It's not going to be on the app, but I need to tell you about the app as well. It's not going to be on the app. It's only going to be on Patreon. And I want you to be a part of that. I want you to get it. I really feel a burden to disciple people in sexuality. And number one is because I've been through a lot. I've survived a lot. I've navigated a lot with some level of success. Yeah, you know what I mean? I can't say what I want to say. I can't say what I want to say, but let me just say it. Let me say it like this, is that I think that there needs to be, hear me out, not just discipleship in sex, but discipleship in sexuality. All right. Not just discipleship in sex, dealing with gender, temptations, fornication, lust. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about discipleship in sexuality. Sexuality is your sex plus your personality together. Your personality is everything that you've been through to make you who you are. All right. Your personality. That's everything that you've been through to make you who you are. But then you have your sex, whether you're a female, male, right? And then you take male, then process that through what you've been through sexually. That creates your sexuality. Is your sexuality broken? Is it healed? Is it hurt? Is it fragmented? Is it whole? Is it healthy? Right? Like I was talking about this. You know, there used to be an adage that said, I can't look over here when I say this. See, this is why it's a no female zone. All right. But they used to say, and I think the Lord probably snatched it from my memory, because not motion in the ocean. I was talking about no, I'm talking about the spirituality of sex. Yeah, before that. About personality, what you've gone through is your sex plus what you've been through. Oh yeah, thank you. There used to be an old adage that said, you want a freak in the sheets and a woman in the streets, right? Ain't that right? A lady in the streets. Oh, you know, you you know. Help us, Lord.
Whoa, pause. Major pause.
Oh, Larissa, why Larissa know? Larissa, why you know? Everybody that say something. Okay, but you know how they say we want a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed or freak in the sheets, right? So because I'm gonna tell y'all this, most Christians, please hear me, either have a boring sex life or they have an illegal sex life. They have a boring sex life, meaning that everything that they did before they got saved, they feel like that type of stuff is off the table once they get saved, right? And then you have people that they're saved, but all of their sexual activity is fueled by lust or their previous experience, right? So they're saved, but they want to do a whole bunch of stuff that's not saved because of what they did before they got saved. Or they're saved and they don't want to do nothing that they did before they weren't saved But now it's making their relationship or their sex life kind of boring or whatever the case may be. So this is what you want. You want. Now I'm gonna deal with this in the spirituality of sex. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all need to sign up to this Patreon community if you have not. But I'm gonna deal with the spirituality of sex, and what we're gonna deal with is what I call the Christian freak. All right. Now, what is the Christian freak? The Christian freak is somebody who has learned how to wield their sexual trauma in a healthy way that breeds explosive intimacy in a covenant relationship. Come on now. You heard what I said? I don't know. I know you. That was good. All right. A Christian freak. Somebody that has learned, been healed, they're whole, they have processed their sexual trauma to the point that they can now use it to build an explosive, intimate relationship in a covenant. You follow what I'm saying? Like, you ain't there no more. But get this. Years ago, Juanita Bynum wrote a book. Years ago, Juanita Bynum wrote a book called No More Sheets. And in this book, she talks about sexuality and stuff like that. But this is what she says in this book. She says, once you eat a strawberry, you will never forget how a strawberry tastes. Come on, somebody. Once you eat an apple, you'll never forget how an apple tastes. Right? Once you do whatever you did before you got saved, you're not going to forget that. Since you're not going to forget it, you might as well use it. You just have to get healed so that when you use it, it don't take you back to where you were when you first found it. I want to preach. Man, this is good. Don't do that. Because once you start recording, what do you got a team for? What do you have a team for? She always repeats stuff and to make it more dramatic. I just wanted to tell her to kiss my. All right. I'm saying all that to say the spirituality of sex is going to be awesome. And if you're not a part of the Patreon community, you're going to miss out on it. And that's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not my fault. That's all I'm saying. We've created 4 different opportunities. Lab techs, the beta project, for those of you that are apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers. We got the core, and then we got the hybrid. We got opportunities for you to learn, for you to grab, for us to connect. I ain't gonna push you. So let's get into our hot topics. And then let's get into our conversation about sororities and fraternities. Tonight, if you're joining us, welcome to Spiritual Therapy. I really do appreciate you being on. Every single Monday night at 10 p.m., we go live for another episode of Spiritual Therapy. This is just episode number 3. And tonight we're dealing with fraternities and sororities. We're going to have a conversation. It's probably just going to be part number 1. We're going to do a little bit deeper dive in our Patreon, but we are going to do another episode of this. So before we get into that, go ahead, like the video if you haven't liked it yet. Subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. Go ahead and invite somebody on, all right, because it's going to be really, really dope. Go ahead, tag somebody in it. But let's talk about some hot topics. We got some hot topics, and we want to talk about some hot topics really, really quick. So a lot of stuff been going on. I think the last time we did hot topics, Carly Russell was in the news. I don't know if y'all remember her. Carly Russell was in the news because she had just went missing. We didn't know what was going on. We were all praying. We were fasting. Where is Carly Russell? Prophets start prophesying. They say, I see her in a dungeon. I see her in a ditch. All of them were wrong. They were wrong. Right? She fooled. You know you a liar when you fool prophets. When you start fooling the prophets, you are lying somebody. You are conniving somebody. When you start fooling, when you got the church praying for you and you don't even need prayer, you somewhere eating Popeyes. So Carly Russell, if that's her real name, I don't know what to believe. Carly Russell Smollett, 100%, because she pulled a Joseph Smollett Y'all remember Jesse Smollett, right? He was in Chicago during the winter time. This man said he was going to get Subway at 2:00 in the morning. And it was winter time. This ain't good. I'm just having fun. We try to get into it. Yeah, you miss a moment. You gotta be sensitive. But he said that he went outside to get it was like 2:00 in the morning. It was negative 100. It was like negative degrees outside. It was snowing. He had a baseball cap on. Who would wear a baseball cap in the winter? And then he was going to get a Subway sandwich. Who going to get a Subway sandwich? Anyway, he was lying. We knew he was lying. They poured bleach on him. He had a noose around his neck. They beat him. They said MAGA. And we found out he was lying. And then all of a sudden, his cousin, Carly Russell, she go missing, right? How long was she missing? 48 hours. See, this is what she thought. Let's be honest. Let me be honest. Let that been Kathy Russell. Come on now. If that was a white woman, they would have scoured the city. They would have put police. They would have did all that. And I know what y'all are saying. Well, didn't they go look for Carly? They went around the block twice. That's all they did. They went down the street, came back. They didn't go down. They went to the edge of the carport. They went to the driveway and just looked and said, well, she ain't here. That's what they did. But the truth is, they did not put as much. No, this is what she thought. Because if it was a white person, a ransom. If anybody got information, if we find them, $100,000. Because the family would have said, please, if you see our daughter, 75,000, 100,000, blah, blah, blah. Carly Russell went missing. Wait. Carly Russell went missing. She was expecting somebody to put out a ransom, and all we heard was, she said, I wonder how much money they gonna offer for me. 100,000? 80,000? $500? What about some gas money and a bucket of chicken? How much for one rib? One slab of rib? No. No. One rib. Oh, y'all know good and well she was waiting for something. She was waiting for somebody. She was waiting for somebody to rescue her, and somebody was like, yeah, it ain't that big of a deal. She thought her boyfriend was gonna come, and her boyfriend was like, "Oh, she gone?" Oh, okay. Oh, see, hear me. Now, this is for real. It is sad when you leave and nobody miss you. I'm telling you, hear me. I'm for real now. It is sad. Thank you. It is sad when you leave somebody's life. When you tell somebody, I'm leaving, and they say, okay. What did you mean? What did you do? Oh, y'all crazy. What did you change? Why are you needed? And whenever, I'm about to start a new series, whenever there is no longer hurt from your absence, there is no longer value from your presence. I'm going to say that again. When there is no longer hurt from your absence, there is no longer value of your presence. Are you following me? And some of you, you've lost value with your presence. So now your absence doesn't mean much. Are you following me? When your absence no longer causes hurt, when there's no hurt because of your absence, because there's no value because of your presence. And sometimes you can devalue your presence so much that your absence doesn't mean anything. And that's what we saw with Carly Russell. Old girl left and nobody went looking for her. And so she just came home. She was like, it's like going, you remember when we used to play hide and go seek and nobody found you? And you just be like, and they stop playing. They go and do something else. You still hiding. And then you just got to come out and be like, I'm here. And everybody's like, oh, we don't really care. So Carly Russell. So she thought her boyfriend was going to come back. Boyfriend didn't come back. And, you know, did y'all see the lawyer? Jesus. Oh my God. Y'all didn't see the lawyer? I'm gonna see if I can find this because y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see the lawyer. Y'all got to see Carly Russell's lawyer. It was amazing. The man in that suit. I need y'all to see this. Oh, there it is. I'm showing y'all Carly Russell's lawyer real quick. All right, I ain't gonna waste no time. I thought I could find them easier. I see one of them.
Is continuing to gain statewide as well as nationwide attention.
Y'all
Robert,
see that?
what did her attorney have to say today?
Yeah, hey, Mike Russell's attorney did confirm that he expects charges to be filed against his client for faking her own disappearance. Now, this morning, Emory Anthony met with the Hoover Police Chief, Nick Durzis, about his client, Carly Russell. This comes after a press conference on yesterday when Chief Durzis read a statement from her attorney, Anthony, stating that the 25-year-old nursing student was not abducted along the highway of I-459 in Hoover the night of July 13th, and she did not see a child walking along the interstate. Today, the meeting with the police department was short and a productive one.
It's a great meeting, a short meeting, just to try to identify some
There you
things
go, right there.
about where we go from here, responsibilities that we need to take care of. But it was a great meeting, and I want to commend the Hoover Police Department and the Chief of Police for their action and how they had handled everything. So hopefully we can get to the end game, as they say, of this particular thing.
Now, Anthony says he always wants to make sure his client is taken care of as she is dealing with some.
No, I just wanted y'all to see that real quick because I thought it was interesting. Lawyer had on a blue suit, he had the blue glasses on. One interview I saw, it was longer. And after the interview, the guy kept asking him questions. It was like, you know, if I had the same thing happen to me, how much would you charge me to handle this case? And he looked at the guy, he said, I'd probably do it for free. He might be doing it for free, but you can tell after he had a conversation with Carly Russell, she pretty much admitted everything was a lie. His job was pretty much to tell everybody it was a lie. They asked, will you update us with any more information? He was like, no, I think we pretty much got everything. It was a lie. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't even know if he's getting paid. I don't even know how that thing happens or how it works. But anyway, so we dealt with that situation. That was this week. What else we got on? Oh man, y'all heard about Pee Wee Herman? I don't know if that's the right thing. I think we need this. Y'all heard about Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman died today. Y'all remember Pee Wee Herman? I think he was like 100 years old, but he looked like he was 30. He had all that makeup on. He used to wear them. Now, okay, come on now. Like, first of all, let's honor the dead. But now, we got to have a conversation. Didn't he molest kids? Didn't he get like, I don't want to smear his name. I don't want to talk bad about the dead, but he can't do nothing to me. But no, for real though, like I want to say he was in something. Indecent exposure. We'll deal with that in the spirituality of sex. We ain't got time. I really never heard of Pee Wee Herman till today. You never heard of Pee Wee Herman? Y'all don't remember Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, Pee Wee. I love. No, you know who else other than Pee Wee Herman? Do y'all remember? Not Pee Wee Herman, but no. He used to. Ernest, like Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest, y'all don't remember Ernest? Anybody remember Ernest? Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest Halloween. You see it? Yes, Ernest Goes to Camp. Y'all remember Ernest? He was another person during those like 80s and 90s that was kind of like a kid star, like a kid. He was crazy? Oh, well, yeah, he did. He definitely looked crazy. His name was Jim Varney. Y'all remember y'all remember the dinosaur? Dinosaur. What was the purple dinosaur? Barney. Barney. It seems like all of them. Think about Magic. Think about Michael Jackson. Every gift, every artist that was around kids, there ended up being some type of allegation, some type of, something like that, or whatever the case may be. I don't necessarily know how true it is or whatever the case may be, but I do remember Pee Wee Herman being accused of indecent exposure. But regardless of how many people he showed himself to, he was a talent. He was, most of us grew up, with him, with his shows and stuff like that. So one more time for Paul Rubens. All right. Now, guess what? August the 2nd is National Ice Cream Day. All right. It's Ice Cream Day. August the 2nd is Ice Cream Day. National Ice Cream Day. Do me a favor before we go on in the chat, put down your favorite ice cream. I know I'm moving back and forth a little bit. I just wanted you to kind of check that to make sure I'm 100%. What's your favorite ice cream? Come on, put it in the chat. What's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite ice cream? Cookies and cream. Somebody like banana pudding ice cream from Bluebell. We're going to move on from that. Anybody else? Okay, what else? What's a normal flavor? Oreo. You already said cookies and cream. Now you said Oreo. We get it. We get it. What about you? What's a regular ice cream? Yeah, okay. What about you, Dave? Butter pecan? For real? Neapolitan? Nobody eats Neapolitan? There's two people that eat Neapolitan ice cream. Double-minded people and schizophrenic people. People that are schizophrenic. You can't decide which one you want. Pause. Where's my pause button?
Pause.
Anyway, mine, I like butter pecan. I like pistachio. But my favorite is from Godiva. Godiva has a strawberry chocolate ice cream. It's amazing. It's my favorite. It's like strawberry ice cream with strawberry dipped chocolate dipped strawberries that have been chopped up and they're in the ice cream, and then they have shards of chocolate in the ice cream too. Is my favorite ice cream. Is at Publix. Go to Publix, get it. Biscotti, Biscotti has ice cream. The cookies that you get if you fly Delta, all right, not Spirit, not Southwest, not American, not United, but if you fly Delta, they give you these biscotti cookies and they have an ice cream. They're only available in Walmart. What you about to say? For real? By who? But the attendant harassed him or somebody else? Passengers? And they're suing Delta for that? Oh, yeah. That does happen. That's a good hot topic. Come on now. Delta's being sued by a passenger. A passenger was on the flight, a 9-hour flight, and apparently Delta kept giving their neighbor a whole bunch of drinks. The neighbor started kind of being belligerent or whatever, and now that person is suing Delta. Hear me. I wish they're getting that? Oh, they're suing for $2 million. I'm about to say, I wonder how much they're gonna get. I'm sure, yeah, because Delta probably offered them like a year of flight. Yeah, free flight. You get a free flight. They was like, nah, you better give me some money. So that's crazy. But what's your favorite? What we got? Biscoff cookies, Haagen-Dazs chocolate. I see that. Okay. Somebody said you like Godiva, you bougie. No, Godiva is pretty good. And it's in Publix, so it's not expensive, y'all. Mint chocolate chip. You should be banned. You should be arrested. Mint chocolate chip. Ugh. Dolce de leche. Somebody had to get all dolce de leche. That's not caramel, I guess. Strawberry, 100% strawberry. I do think strawberry is like my base favorite. Strawberry is like my base favorite. I used to not like strawberry because I don't like pulp and I don't like the little tidbits. But somebody said Snickers, butter pecan. Okay, vanilla. I love butter pecan. Strawberry crunch. That sounds awesome. Praline pecan, vanilla bean, coconut, pineapple, white chocolate, grape nut ice cream. I never heard of that. I don't want to hear of that. Chocolate turtle, chocolate with walnuts. All right, y'all hungry, ain't you? Y'all, okay. I cooked over the last 2 days, maybe 3. I've cooked, and this is what I've cooked. Number 1, I cooked a roasted corn dip. So I had like 4 or 5 different cheeses. I had Velveeta queso. I had Velveeta Mexican. I had habanero. I had pepper jack. So 4 cheeses. Put that in a pan. I took some canned corn, drained them, made sure there's no water, and I roasted them, toasted them. Got a nice little char on them. Got some cilantro. I got some red onions. I got some chilies, some like green chilies. And I got some salsa verde. Put it all in a pot together. Put it in the oven. Just let it start bubbling. It was amazing. It was awesome. I did it for the fight. I watched the fight. That's something we need to talk about. But I did that. That was real good. And then guess what I did, y'all? I made stuffed chicken wings. Now, this is my first time ever doing this. I stuffed the chicken wings with dirty rice. So I made my dirty rice. I did a pound of meat. I did half chuck, half pork, half ground chuck. Did that together. I did Zatarain's. You know, I just took the box, poured it in there, and instead of, you're supposed to put water in there, use chicken stock. Come on, you already know. I use chicken stock instead of the water, right? So it make it super flavorful. So that cooked up, that was fine. So then I had to take my wings, they were whole wings. I had to cut the drum part off. I had to cut a little hole at the top, move the meat down.
Pause.
I had to move I had to take the meat off the bone, and then I had to take
Pause. Major pause.
And then I had to take all the bones out, and I ripped the bones out, right? Anyway, that created a little pocket for me so I could then scoop up the dirty rice, put it in the chicken wing. I battered it, put it in like an egg wash, put it in like flour, fried it. Your mama ain't never made nothing better. Hear me. Let me tell you something. It was amazing. It was delectable. It was awesome. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it with different type of rice, cilantro rice, lime rice. I'm going to do it with different type of stuff. It was really, really good. So hate if you want to, but it was really, really good.
Jesus.
That's what we need. That was yeah. When I ate that food, that's exactly what I said. I said,
Jesus.
all right. So ice cream, California, York's fire grows to 77,000 acres, biggest this year. And we like to do some fun facts here on the Spiritual Therapy Podcast. Fun facts. Ketchup was sold as medicine in the 1830s. They believed that it could cure almost anything. Ketchup, can you believe that? Tug of war was once an Olympic sport. That's crazy. Between 1900 and 1920. Tug of war. And before toilet paper was invented, Americans used corn cobs. What do you mean? Talking about the cob of the corn. Oh, like like when you shuck the corn. Okay. Yeah. The husk. That's we from the country. I don't know what she talking about. We say husk. All right. But the purpose of today, the reason we have gathered today is to talk about fraternities and sororities. And that is what we're about to get ready to talk about, because I posted a video. It's been probably about 2 weeks. And I posted a video. I was in a series entitled The American Jesus. We've since ended that series. I'm about to start a new series. Y'all, I'm on sabbatical, but guess what? I come back from sabbatical this Sunday, August the 6th. I'm officially back from sabbatical, and I'm going to go strong until Create. And then after Create, probably take a couple of weeks, and then get ready for Leader Pour, get ready for Family Pour, so forth and so on. But when we ended that series, I dealt with fraternities and sororities, and we posted a video where I talked about pastors being more committed to fraternities and sororities than they are the scripture, the Bible, the word of God, the culture of the kingdom of God. And you would have thought stuff went crazy. Now, look, before we go into this, do me a favor. I need you to go ahead and tag somebody in this video. All right. Hear me. Give me about 15 minutes. I'm going to let y'all go. We're almost done. But do me a favor. Go ahead and tag somebody in the video. If you have not yet liked the video, we got more people watching than people that have liked the video. Go ahead, do me a favor and like the video. Share the video, tag somebody in the video, because we're about to go in. If you've ever had questions about fraternities, about sororities, if you've ever had an interest in fraternities, sororities, even Freemasonry, Eastern Stars, if you ever thought, man, should I pledge? Should I not pledge? Tonight, we're going to talk directly to you. It is going to be a deep dive into Greek organizations. 73% of students participating in social fraternities and sororities have experienced at least one hazing behavior. I want y'all to understand this, all right? Now, just because an organization doesn't haze doesn't mean that that organization is not founded on deceptive, demonic, or destructive principles. Because some people say, well, I wasn't hazed, I wasn't a part of that. Well, that's great that you weren't, but that doesn't mean that that organization does not support those things. And it doesn't mean that everybody else that goes through it won't encounter those things or deal with those things. So it says 73%. Now, my thing is this. If hazing, now, I got two things in my mind I want to say. Number one, if hazing, the way fraternities haze, was a part of new partners class, was a part of discipleship, most of y'all would have left the church, cussed out that pastor, and you would have did truth behind the music. You would have did truth behind the church or something like that to expose all of the crazy stuff happening in that church. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Now, the second thing I'm going to say is some churches do that. All right. Some churches do haze you. Some churches make you get tattoos. Some churches make you get piercings. Some churches make you have an orgy or sleep with this person. Some church, they won't give you a title until they have dirt on you. They'll make sure they put you in compromising situations just so you do something crazy, just so that they can have something they can hold over your head, right? And so some churches do haze. So I don't want to get into that, but some churches do that. But if the predominant majority of the body of Christ hazed people the way these D9 organizations hazed people, you would not be a part of the church. You would leave the church. You would talk about the church. You would disrespect the pastor, and you would disconnect. But as long as it's a Greek fraternity, as long as it's a sorority, as long as they give you letters and Letterman jackets and allow you to, as long as they allow you to do whatever you do, you are fine with it. As long as you are the popular girl or the popular man on campus, you will allow them to do whatever they want to do to you. Now, come on out. Now, before we even get into this, I remember why I used to work at Emory, and I used to work in the business department of the oncology center. And I remember going to work, Emory. Now, Emory is a predominantly white school. So even when we talk about D9, most of those are African-American. I'm not just talking about African-American fraternities and sororities. I'm talking about all fraternities and all sororities. Now, there are some Christian fraternities and sororities that are actually founded on Christian principles. The only Bible they use is the Bible, or the only book they use is the Bible. The practices are Christian, and they don't haze, and they're just there to develop community and whatever the case may be. I don't understand them, because I'm like, the church is that. Everything that you're doing, you can do in a church. So why do you need to be a part of that to do what Jesus already told you to do? Anyway, but the D9 and other organizations that do the hazing, and they're not Christian, they all have similar practices, whether they're black, white, African-American, Caucasian, whatever. So I used to work at Emory, and I remember one day I drove on the campus, and they had white women running around the campus in their bra and panties. In their bra and panties. These are white women. It was probably like fall going into wintertime, and they were running around in their bra and panties. Now, what if you went to a church? Come on now. Oh, no, come on. Now, but that's what I'm saying. The first thing people say is, what? Why wouldn't you say that in a fraternity or a sorority? They've already programmed you to be abused. They've programmed you to be abused, to be hazed, and you don't even say nothing about it. But they were running around in their drawers, and you did that. You submitted to that. You accepted that. Why? So I want you to understand, this is not black, white. This is not whatever. This is just talking about your commitment to a secret society, your acquiescence or your submission to practices that are not Christian, that are not biblical, and they are not kingdom. And you want me to do this? What you want me to accept this for? What? I want y'all to see this. So I got well, yeah, I'm just gonna or I can just go to my other. So y'all see this. Now, of course, we could talk about all these scriptures, but I want y'all to see this. Now, you're telling me that don't look demonic to you? You telling me that don't look demonic to you? Now, when we were slaves and they branded us, when we were slaves and they tattooed us, when we were slaves and they put piercings in us, piercings, tattoos, and the brands were all a part of branding or part of making something a slave. It was a sign of ownership. So they do all of that, and then you want me to be a part of an organization that tattoos me, pierces my flesh, and then brands me, and you want to call it godly? Come on now. Where do these symbols come from? Y'all real quiet. They done got quiet in this chat. Y'all done got real quiet in this chat. Come on now. Let's talk about it. Look at what it says. No man can serve two masters. You see that? Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of this world. Come on, y'all. Why do we love the things of the world? Now, hear me. We are in the world, but we are not of the world. It is hard for you to be in something and you don't pick up certain stuff, right? But I want you to understand that is no excuse for you to make the culture of the world or the practices of the world normal in your life. Hear me. It's one thing that if it's normal, say it's something that you grew up around. It's another thing when you pay money. Now, hear me. Somebody say, you want to pledge? You say, yeah, I want to pledge. How much? 3,000, 4,000, whatever. However, let's say 3,000, 4,000. You're paying them to abuse you. You're paying them to traumatize you. Huh? Where they do that at? You're paying them to cuss you out, yell at you, do all this different stuff. You're paying for that. Now, let me ask you this. How you pay for that and then go to church and give $20? I'm telling you, man. I know what I'm talking about. No. No, that's a mother. Come on, y'all. So if I stand up and say, hey, I want everybody to give $100, church all about money. Church about money, money. And you had to get your Letterman jacket. You had to go to the party. You had to get your own keg, buy your own condoms. You had to pay for you had to do all this. All the money you done spent. And then a pastor asked you to give $1,000, and $1,000 is too much. No, man. But what we're saying is that look at how committed you are to the organization. Look at how committed you are to that D9, to the Alpha, the Kappa, to the Omega, to the whatever. Look at how committed. Look at what you would do. Look at how you would jump through hoops, demean yourself. But then when it comes to the church, I start thinking, when they stroll, have y'all ever seen it like when they're about to cross, how many people are outside? It's thousands, it's hundreds of people watching them. I'm talking about men, they got their arms up under each other, they got their pelvis on the man's butt, and they doing they doing all this different kind of stuff. But if they in church and somebody say, everybody lift your hands. Huh? So you're telling me you can stroll and step and bark like a dog in front of hundreds of people, but if I give an altar call for pride, you can't walk your butt down the aisle? Come on now. That's what we mean by idolatry. The stuff you are willing to do for that organization, you are not willing to do for God. You're not willing to do for Jesus, and you're not willing to do for his church or for his leaders. And you want us to be okay. No, we're not being okay with that. We're not going to be any energy, loyalty, commitment, activity that you are willing to give to another organization that you are not willing to give to your faith or to the church is idolatry. Idolatry. And this is what I want to talk about is that a lot of people say, y'all, this happened. Wait, this happened. This is real. Y'all, I went to a gas station. I was just getting some gas. And I was walking around the gas station. Did I tell y'all this yet? So I was walking around the gas station, and I noticed like a guy kind of following me, kind of, just looking at me or whatever. I thought maybe he, know me from church or something like that. So I pay for my food. I'm walking out. He waits by the door. That's when I'm like, oh, Lord. He opens the door. So I thought when he opened the door, I'm like, maybe he waited, just to open the door, whatever. So I walk, and I'm going to my car. He was like, how you doing, Pastor? And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing, man? I'm still happy because I'm thinking maybe he goes to embassy. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He was like, I'm Omega Sci-Fi. He was like, I'm Omega Man. He was like, I saw your post. And I was like, oh, God. He was like, people sent him my post, and he's an Omega Man. And he was like, my wife, I told my wife, I said, I think this him. I told my wife, I texted my wife, like, this him. And she was like, I know you're going to say something, ain't you? Because apparently I'm sure he probably been saying something at home. And now she was like, now that you see him, you better say something. And sure enough, he stepped to me and he was just like, tell me your perspective. He was like, I'm an Omega guy. I pledge, I do love God, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, a lot of people, when they pledge, they have to do A, B, and C. And he was like, yeah, well, I had to do A, B, and C. And I was like, how can you then say that that's a Christian organization? And we ended up taking a picture together and everything. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Autofocus. We ended up taking a picture together. Look at that. We had a good little conversation. Had a real nice little conversation. But I ended up telling them the same thing I'm telling you. And and this is what he said. He was like, it's founded on Christian principles. I told him, look, even if it was founded on Christian principles, the practices are not Christian. So for you to do the practices is not Christian. Y'all, first of all, we have to go ahead and establish the fact. None of the D9 organizations, fraternities, or sororities are Christian. They are not Christian. I don't care if they use a scripture. They're not Christian. Eastern Stars and Freemasons use scriptures. They're not Christians. Nation of Islam uses scripture, uses the Bible. Farrakhan preaches out of the Holy Bible. He is not Christian. Just because somebody uses scripture doesn't mean that it is Christian. Y'all got to stop this, man. We ain't done. We are not done. Now, I want to show you. Look at this. Phi Beta Sigma pays homage to Horus. Phi Beta Sigma is associated with Athena. Kappa Alpha Psi is associated with Thoth. Phi Beta Sigma is associated with Horus. Alpha Kappa Alpha is associated with Atlas. Alpha Phi Alpha is associated with the Sphinx. Y'all know this stuff. Y'all, come on. Zeta Phi Beta is associated with the Egyptian cat-headed goddess. Sigma Gamma Rho refers to Ma'at as its inspiration. She is the goddess who was the female counterpart of Thoth. Iota Phi Theta, Delta Sigma Theta. Y'all see all this stuff. Come on now. I want us to leave you without excuse. Do what you want to do. If you want to be a part of an organization, join a church. But I want more close community. Join a ministry. I got a better idea. Get close to your family. Don't you got a real family? I don't like the confusion, the thought that you can be a part of these demonic organizations. We're almost there. Look, I want y'all to see this. Look at what it says. It says, AKAs are quoted as saying, to thee, O Alpha Kappa Alpha, we pledge our hearts, our minds, our strength. Woo! You what? You pledge your what? To who? They make you say this stuff. Now, I know you saying I don't believe in it. I'm just saying it because I want to cross. I'm just saying it because so you are willing to compromise the allegiance to your God to be a part of, to get a jacket? To get a jacket. That's what you want, to get a jacket. Now, they say stuff like this. They say, well, if you're an Omega man or if you're a Kappa, whatever the case may be, or Alpha, whatever, you can go to a job because Martin Luther King was an Alpha. I don't give a care. Martin Luther King had girlfriends on the side too. What that mean? What that mean? Because Martin Luther King was an Alpha. So that means he's the standard? And people always like to throw Martin Luther King in black people's face. Every time something happens, Martin Luther King, what the? Martin Luther King ain't my standard. Jesus Christ is my standard. They got me mad. I'm sorry. They make them do all this stuff. Now, I like this. It says, we pledge our hearts, our minds, our strength, to foster their teachings, obey thy laws, and make thee supreme in service to all mankind. What? Some of these groups kneel on shrines to a false god. For example, page 14 of the ritual book of the Kappa Phi Psi states, the altar of Kappa Alpha Psi, which is the sacred Delphic shrine, shall be placed in the center of the room and covered with a crimson and crown coverlet. The Delphic shrine was used as the shrine of the false god Apollos. And it literally show you what they do. Got the altar table there. Regalia of chapter members. Chapter members wear plain black robes if they so desire. Look, the candidate robes. Man, I love this stuff. Look at this. The candidate, they got robes, they blindfolded. Now, again, if we made you do any of this stuff in a Christian church, you would say, this is weird, I'm not into it, and I would leave. But if it's a Greek organization, they can have you put on a robe and blindfold you. Go to the altar table, you kneel, and then they're going to open the Bible. What you opening the Bible for? It's demonic, y'all. I know we over time. Y'all tired. Look at this. There are altar tables that everyone kneels down to when they cross. 100%. I know. Look, somebody said you kneel at the altar table before you cross and sign the book. It's a spiritual contract. It is a spiritual contract, y'all. And I know you don't like it, and I know you don't want to hear it because we have so much loyalty and allegiance racially to these D9 organizations. But all I want you to understand is that I'm not a hater. Now, come on now, I got to look at y'all. Because when I posted this video, everybody responded to the video saying, oh, he was dropped. Or he didn't pass. He didn't have the grades. All right. So number one, I did not pledge. My dad is a Kappa. And my mentor, Apostle George Dorton, was a Kappa. They both were a Kappa. And I was at a school called Clayton State University, right? And at the time, they didn't have no D9 organizations, but they started to introduce them, right? They finally said, we're going to have chapters. Our school was growing by leaps and bounds. We built a dormitory. They said, we're going to have chapters. Hear me. It was like an explosion. People was like, oh, I'm a pledge, because that was the biggest thing on that little commuter school's campus. So everybody said they were going to pledge. They had Kappas, they had Alphas, they had Deltas, they had AKAs, so forth and so on. And so my dad was a Kappa. My mentor was a Kappa. So I said, I'm a pledge. I just, I wanted to be cool. I was not the cool kid in high school because I was a Buddhist. I meditated. I wore Buddhist robes. Nobody cared. I'm in college now. I'm a campus pastor, so I got a Bible study going on. Everybody kind of know me. I'm like, well, maybe I can use this. You know what I mean? Become a Kappa, whatever the case may be. And so, this is what really made me think about it. Somebody came to me and said, hey, if your dad's a Kappa, he can write a letter for you and you can pledge what they call by letters, meaning that I wouldn't have had to go through what everybody else went through. I probably would not have been hazed. I probably would have had a reduced fee or whatever the case may be. And I would have been able to pledge by papers. So I was excited. So I asked my dad, I said, Dad, should I pledge? My dad looked me in the face and said, no. And I'm like, Dad, but you pledged, why? And he went through a list of stuff that they made him do in order for him to cross. One of the things that I remember him saying that they made him do, they made them eat a onion like an apple. They gave everybody on the line an onion, a raw onion, and they had to sit there and eat it like an apple. And they had to eat the whole thing. My dad said he threw up. And after he threw up, I think he had to eat another one. You have to eat it down. And so that was one thing. So after that, I said, I'm going to have a meeting with my mentor, Apostle George Dorton, right? We were executive pastors at his church before we started our ministry. He launched us. He released us. And so I sat down with him in the cafeteria of Clayton State University. I remember where we were. And I asked him, I'm like, I'm thinking about pledging. What do you think? He said, don't do it. And he said, the compromise, he said the soul tie. The soul tie, because every organization agreement produces a connection to the mind, the will, your emotions. He said the soul tie is so hard to break because, of course, you gain relationships and friendships and all of this stuff. And now it's hard for you to denounce it because your friends in it. It's hard for you to renounce it because you got relationships. And the reason you got the job is because you got the hookup. And the reason you got this is because you got the hookup. Look at all these things you've had to do. This is what somebody said. Well, you can get a good job. And I said, well, I thought promotion don't come from the east or the west. I thought promotion comes from the Lord. I thought that your gift will make room for you and bring you into the presence of great men. I didn't know you were utilizing your associations and your networking and all that different kind of stuff. See, you're supposed to be depending on God. Now you're depending on your little circle. I don't trust it, y'all. I don't trust it. I just wanted y'all to see this. We're gonna do a part 2 of this most likely next week, or we're gonna go a little bit deeper in the Patreon. So don't forget, you need to go ahead and sign up for the Patreon if you have not signed up already. All right, sign up for the Patreon because we're gonna go deeper into these D9 organizations. This is the Delta Kappa Epsilon coat of arms. And there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. We ain't got time. Be not unequally yoked, y'all. So anyway. And if you've been a part of it, you can repent now. If you've pledged allegiance to these things, you can repent now. You don't have to wait. You can say, Lord, I don't want to have any allegiance, any connection. I don't want to have any relationship with anything that will distract me, detour me, or take me away from you. You can say that prayer now. You can repent now, and the Lord will forgive you and give you strength to walk away. But I just did you not cross? Did you upset? You mad? But no, bro, it's idolatry. That's it. I ain't got no extra grind. If you want to do it, you do it. But if you can be okay with your idolatry, don't come after mine then. Don't talk about somebody else and what they do if you are going to willingly submit to stuff that ain't God. All right? That's my time for tonight. We're going to stop there. What book is this? You can look this up. It's called Jesus, Truth, Deliverance. And y'all can find this information anywhere on the internet. Just look up Truth of D9 Organizations. All right. And they'll let you know, like literally, they took us into the manuals. You can see the manuals. You can see what they talk about in the manuals. You can see this is the Phi Beta, the Phi Kappa Alpha ritual. You can see all this different kind of stuff. And it's really, really good. Do your own research. All right. If you don't want to take my word for it, do your own research. And I promise you're going to find out that I'm telling the truth. All right. We're going to stop there. It's late. It's hard to do the other thing like right after. It's hard. I'm tired, man. Shoot. But I'm on sabbatical, so I got tomorrow too. We did well, and we already got some behind the scenes stuff that we did. We can definitely, that's gonna be good. Definitely. All right. I pray you guys are doing good. I pray you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Today was just episode 3. We got a lot more coming at you, but I do want to remind you, be in Atlanta October 5th through the 7th. Be here for Create. I would love to have you a part. I would love to see you at Create conference. You can go to embassychurchatl.com, get more information there. Go to patreon.com/it'sapostleb. Sign up for one of my mentorship communities. I would love to give you backstage, all access, backstage, all access. You understand what I'm saying? Pause. I'm saying all access backstage pass. That's what I'm saying. All right. And if you want to be a part of that, go to our Patreon, be a part of our Patreon community. But other than that, I love you guys. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. I got one more week of sabbatical. I'll be back in our pulpit August the 6th. Got a brand new series. Give me some space. That's going to be dope. That's going to be awesome. Please do not forget 2 things before you leave. If you want to give, if you want to sow, we got the Cash App down there. Find an opportunity to sow. Find an opportunity to give. Also, the app, my app. If you do not have my app yet, this is an awesome opportunity to download the Brian Meadows app. All right? Come on. Focus. There we go. Focus. All right. That's my app. We got some brand new stuff on the app. I would love to make sure you guys get the app. There's some good stuff on there. Go ahead, download the app. It's dope. All right. Until next time, come on, autofocus. Until next time, I appreciate you guys. We're going to go out with a bang.
So how does God shift an industry? He allows
Oh, yeah. Let me say this as well. Real quick. If you're a pastor, church planter, senior pastor, and you want community, you're looking for a church network to be a part of, you're looking for covering, cultivation, accountability. If you're looking for that, go to futureisnexus.com. I have the awesome privilege of covering pastors, helping church planters build and launch their churches. I would love for you to be a part of that community as well. Go to futureisnexus.com, and I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys next week. Come on, let's go out. Go ahead, give something. Don't just get it. Give something. All right. I'll see you guys next time.
I feel my time coming. We champions. And Jesus answered them saying, the hour is come.
What it do? Say what it is. Come take a seat. Say who you is. Say what you do. Say what's your gift. I show the truth. Just keep it real. When I speak to you, tell me what it do. And when I come through, tell me what it do. You got something I can use, tell me what it do. Let your gift be the proof, tell me what it do. Whether you do your dance and you got the scene with a flash, you can count it up, just do the math. And when you show them your gift and what it do, just let them know you need your check in advance. For what it's worth, I am the man. When I hit the jet, they know my name. I eat in places where they don't understand what I speak, but they know who I be. That's cause my gift is the mirror for me. If you just come and see what you can be. If you just shine, you can be what they seek. You can be what they need. You can be what he speaks from the top of your head to the soul underneath. They be jocking the flow and that's so unique. Yeah, they be digging me, but there's precious stones in my underground. Press through the pressure, now it's diamond cut to my crown. Look through the mirror and clear what the sauces for him, and now I can reflect what I found. Woo. Pick up the ball, you make up the clean up the flaws. Let the beat press record, watch them pause.